This book will save your life by A.M. Holmes. Home alone. Richard is glad the dog is there. The night is quiet. He sleeps with the windows open, the rolling lull of the ocean outside. The phone rings just as he's falling asleep. It's Cynthia whispering, "In the fridge, we each have our own shelf. She writes her name on everything that's hers. And in the bathroom, we have assigned towels and our own shelves in the medicine cabinet. She's got 10 kinds of medication on her shelf." "Sleep," Richard tells her. "With one eye open," she says. In the morning, the woman with the yellow bathing cap is in the ocean again. He watches with binoculars, determined to see how far she goes and if/when she comes back. He tracks her until she is a yellow dot. A little while later, he looks again to see if she's swimming back. Nothing. Is there such a thing as a one-way swim? Maybe she has it figured out. Maybe she swims down and runs back. But how does she run without shoes, without clothes, without a towel? Maybe she has it set up. She swims down, climbs out of the ocean, walks to her office. She takes the elevator up, walks down the hall, leaving squeaky wet footprints, goes into her office, dries her hair, and slips into her work clothes. Maybe her driver meets her at the Santa Monica Pier. Maybe she has a morning coffee date. Maybe she's an Olympian in training. Maybe she maybe. The car guy calls. "You were on Leno." "I heard. Not funny, right? So you're going to write us the letter?" "When will the car be ready?" "A couple of days." "When you drop it off, I'll give the guy the letter." "I take care of you, right?" "You take care of me, right," Richard says, hanging up. The phone rings again. "Is this Richard Novak?" "How did you find me?" "I was given your folder. I work for a debriefing company in conjunction with the Center for Healing Expression. Now is not the moment. Can I call you back?" "We just wanted to find out how you've been since you've spent time with us and how you would evaluate the meditation experience and services offered. Our first question is about the food. Was the quality and quantity to your satisfaction?" "Fine," Richard says. "All very earthy, kind of like eating dirt." "Was there anything that you would have liked Joseph to speak about?" "No, not really." "Anything that you'd like to see more of at the center?" "I can't really stay on the phone." "We also wanted to let you know that the Center for Healing Expression is a 401c nonprofit organization. Are you interested in making a donation?" "How much do you want?" "We make no recommendations." "Fine, I'll send a check. I have to go." Again the phone rings. Ben. "I've been trying to call, but the line is always busy." "I know. I'm sorry." "Where are you?" "I'm here," Ben says. "Right here. We're at the Malibu Market. I was trying to surprise you. You went right by. Come back toward Santa Monica and I'll go outside." Richard stands at the edge of the road. He tries not to look at the photographers across the street. He stands facing traffic, greeting each car as it approaches. He stands randomly waving, like someone advertised in a church car wash or flagging down help. And then he sees them. He sees the boxy Volvo, the grill like a bold, toothy facial expression. He waves. Like an air traffic controller, he directs them off the road and into a spot. One Kindness from The Lost Books of the Odyssey by Zachary Mason. Odysseus clung to his raft of sticks as he was washed through the breakers and onto the shore of another island in the sequence of islands that filled his days. On the narrow shore the cold rain hit him, and he found himself missing the warmth of the sea. He saw firelight in a cave, pulled himself up, and staggered toward it. It occurred to him to walk in and throw himself at the mercy of the occupants, but instead he thought, "One more time," and crept through the freezing, rain-soaked night to listen. Within, 3 women sat around a snapping fire. The shadows on the wall behind them were the blurred silhouettes of sweet maiden, stout matron, and bent crone. But as the firelight flickered, the shadows took other forms. A long-armed ogre with grasping hands, a bird of prey with unfurled wings, a net with glass floats, their iridescence gleaming on the rough rock walls. Or sometimes nothing at all. They debated loudly, to be heard over the rain and the fire. which, for all the violence of its burning, made more smoke than light. 10 years is 10 years, no matter how you cut it, said one, brandishing a cooking knife. You can interpret all you like, but the facts are inescapable. Mere simple-minded literalism, said another, using a ladle to stir a tarnished copper pot on a tripod all but swallowed by the flames. If it is said he was to be brave like an eagle, would you have him plucking mice out of fields and climbing a tall tree to sit on a nest of sticks and guard an egg? It is understood to be a guideline, an indication to be fleshed out as required by the details of the situation, not an exact recipe. It is exactly a recipe, only far more binding, said the first in a voice like a fast, cold wind. Unless you're a blockhead, finished the second. Blockhead yourself, miss, I shall do as I please, for it is only a guideline, said the first. I beg your pardon, most humbly, great madam. I never meant to imply that one as august as yourself should be obliged to be bound by the iron chains of necessity. Tut! There is some room to move within those chains, and I say he has suffered enough, replied the second. He has not begun to suffer, said the third, whom Odysseus now saw was the fairest and most terrible. If he got home now, he would be unmarked. His suffering, as you are pleased to call it, would be the stuff of tales to enliven the winter of his old age. Stories for his grandchildren. Fie on you! We will draw him thin and fine.